are placed in the right place. But that accountability, Chair, I just want to thank you for going in that direction.
Chair, if I remember correctly, and Governor, you were there, we did have a meeting with the Comptroller of State House. It was before this very committee. And there was a commitment from national government that those pending bills that were owed or due from NMS would not be put on our books. Perhaps what you need to update us on is how far has that conversation gone now? And in my most recent conversation with you on this particular issue, you indicated that in fact the handover process, there are still some outstanding issues in terms of handover of handing back of the functions and all the documentation back to the Nairobi County government. Has that process now been concluded?
Before you respond, let's get the intervention of Senator Onyonka.
Thank you, Chair. Governor, I happen to be very lucky that I sit in 3 different committees that have been dealing with this matter. I really hope today when you pronounce yourself that I would like to have the people who are responsible for NMS to just come and tell us what actually happened with NMS. Because this issue is not as simple as every time we are talking about for the last 2 years. All right. In fact, the other issue I wanted to raise, Chair, again, linked with NMS, is, Governor, I don't know whether I'm right on this one. Even the platform that you're using to collect revenue in Nairobi County, you don't even have the passwords. You don't even know where the servers are.
That is not true. Chair.
Okay, can you clarify on that? Because in the other committee, that's the impression we got.
No, that would be.
Let's proceed in this manner, because I was giving directions on how to deal with the 11 billion. Now the governor has opened debate on it. I really wouldn't want us to debate it for long. So just deal with very briefly. I think Kato, you appeared alongside Kato when we were giving directions that they give you access to the servers. I think that's what Senator Onyonka is referring to. And we even directed that some officer be found,
yeah,
and that officer should provide access. So I hope that was complied with. And I also hope that the proclamation that the pending bills would remain in the national government books was followed through. Just confirm that.
The pending bills, Chair, was a resolution of the IBEC. First, it was a position of the Auditor General that we agreed with happily, and the pronouncement was made at IBEC. We don't intend to, pay those outstanding liabilities that had been incurred at that time. And I'll give you an example. There was a bill of more than $1 billion owed to NHIF for insurance. And they had tried to push that down the throat of the county. And I told them, listen, why are we being asked to pay for this $1 billion? Yet the staff at NMS were both county and national. There were staff from the national government sent to NMS. There were staff from the county government sent to NMS. Why is the bill a Nairobi County bill? And I told that PS Gadesha that, you people cannot try to untwist the county government or to bully the county government into paying for what you incurred. So Chair, the process of handover from an MS senator, the only things that are pending are now the files that are pending payment, because until they pay and conclude, they can't hand those to us, and we ask them to fast track so that we can finish these projects. Because now going forward, if for instance I'll give you an example of Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital. One of the buildings has a pending payment owed. We want them to pay so that we continue and conclude that construction. And there are many other examples. The only 2 others really was City Park, that had gone under KFS during NMS time, the management of City Park. That one has been decreed. Of course, that comes back to us as a county government.
Governor, just clarify something for me. Isn't there a provision in your budget for completion of the works at Mama Lucy?
Yes, but you see, we can't until they hand over the novate.
Why were you budgeting for it, and for a fact that the process of handover has not been completed?
No, those are other projects. It's not one project at Mama Lucy.
So the one that is told that was begun by NMS, and there's another one at Mbagathi as well.
No, there are a number of different projects.
Yes, so
Mbagathi,
why budget
Niku.
for them when we know it might not happen in this financial year?
No, those are not the stalled ones by NMS. Those are our own, the other projects.
We're beginning new projects.
The projects that the county had started before, that NMS, for instance, didn't continue with.
So at Mama Lucy, what is the budget for? It's not the building that was told that was begun by...
You have to look at it, because there's also a mother and child center. There's quite a bit going on in Mama Lucy. So you can tell me the exact budget line. I can tell you what it is.
Could we avoid getting into the specifics at this time? So we deal with the specifics when the Auditor General tables that report, so that we can now move on to something else, because that takes care of the 11 billion part of your revenue. Auditor General, this was an adverse opinion. When you come to the basis of the adverse opinion, your first finding is on compensation of employees. Already, Auditor General, you have given us an update, and so I will refer to the finding of the Auditor General as is in the report, just to be efficient and to save time. I will also refer to the response by the county government as per the management response tabled by the governor. We have reviewed it, and the Auditor General has told us that out of the amount that was queried, there was a variance of 313 million, where the breakdown was not provided. Now, the only comfort we take is that the expenditure is going down. At least it's not going up. But the Auditor General says that 1.1 billion of that 1.4 billion has been explained, and I can see that there is a table there. And the auditor tells us that the balance of 313 million has not been justified. Governor, could you explain that variance of 313 million?
Chair, do I read the entire management response or just point to...
Yeah, because I'm sure you're familiar with this report. We are also familiar with it. The Auditor General has given us a very detailed brief. The only thing that is pending there is accountability for 313 million. 1.1 billion, the Auditor General feels fairly satisfied.
Governor, there is a response at page 7 of your reply. That's what we would want.
Yeah, let's just go to that statement.
My document is a bit different, but let me just start. The compensation of employees of 6 billion, 6.4, reported in the financial statements.
Governor, you know, sometimes even when you are moving, even in the committee of the whole, sometimes you say, I beg to move that clause 2 be amended as in the order paper.
Yes.
So that's for efficiency. So we have taken note of your written response, which is about 3 pages. The only part we have a question is on the 313 million.
Thank you, Chair. So the response is as in my response. The 313 million, Chairman, is attributable to off-payroll items. The off-payroll, according to the report, such as casuals, retiree terminal benefits, service gratuities, payments paid during the 2 financial years. And we've attached some documents: new employee hiring, staff exits, deed of transfer, and gazette notice on the deed of functions. I will have my CFO give you the details of
what the Auditor General is looking for, and what we are looking for, is a breakdown of those 313. Even if they are off-payroll items, they need to be broken down. Your first table as a total in Kenya shillings, and then your second table as a total count. We want total cash, not total count of movements.
Thank you so much, Chair, for the question. Chair, this particular question was addressing a bigger variance of 1.14B, which we've explained the cause of the variance. For the 313, as stated by His Excellency the Governor, these are items that usually do not appear in our IPPD byproduct, and they refer to casuals, retirees, and also those who are on contract and we usually pay gratuities to, but the breakdown was not provided to the auditors, though that can be provided.
Well, if it was not provided, does it mean you didn't have the records?
The records are there, Chair.
Yeah, because if you list here, there were 43 deaths. If there are 43 deaths, there should be names and a figure and the benefits that were paid to them. If there were 3 retirements at 50, it's persons who retire. So that breakdown ought to be provided. Governor, unless you guys are trying to conceal something.
Perhaps Chair also clarify, because there's 5 annexures, Governor.
Yes.
Do those annexures speak to the question? Would the Chair find that information in those annexures, the amounts?
No. Chair, those annexures, actually, because you want a list of casuals,
Yes.
you want the retiree terminal benefits, service gratuity payments in those 2 financial years, that is 2020, 21 and 21-22.
So you may have misunderstood the query. So if you can provide this.
Yeah, so that's what we can provide, Chair. I think that would answer the 313.
Auditor General, is this part of what was coming to you at the last minute? Is this part of it, or it was payment vouchers?
Chair, there are payment vouchers for casuals, but for us to be able to extract this information, we need to clearly be given the listings of the names, as we said, and then their actual earnings, so that we can tally that figure and see whether it is totaling to 300.
So it has not been provided yet, because you mentioned to us that there were some payment vouchers that were presented at the last minute.
No, Chair.
This is not part of it.
Yes, Chair.
And since I know there are some queries where you'll be asking for time to verify the payment vouchers, should we then direct the Governor to provide this breakdown within 7 days, so that you do the verification as you sort out the other payment vouchers?
That would be right, Chair.
Governor, can this breakdown be provided?
Let me have the Chief Officer PSM to answer him, not me.
No, I don't want a story. I just want to be told that this will be provided to the Auditor General.
She has said she will provide.
Within how many days how many days do you need? 7 days. Within 7 days, so that Auditor General.
Chair, she has to be on record.
Yes. I can answer 7 days.
No. The Chief Officer, because she's the one to provide.
7 days.
Oh.
Excuse me, Chair. Madam, could I please ask you a question? When you see such question being asked, why is it that you're unable to provide the basic documentation analysis to the Governor?
We are doing that because
that's not what I asked you.
Yes.
Why is it that you did not provide that information before you came here?
I was organizing with my team, and we've been trying to retrieve it. And even as we sit here, I'm in touch with them. And that is why when we give 7 days, we are sure by that time we'll be able to provide.
So the reason why you are not getting the documents was?
Some of them were still missing, but they are retrieving them.
Why are you not able even to say that in your report when Governor is answering the questions?
I'm sorry, sir.
You understand the problem we are having?
I do.
This is a matter that we should never interrogate here. Because you have the documents, you would have given them to him. Yeah. Or did you think we'll not be able to see?
No.
Ours is what in wajuaji. Tunaonanga kila kitu.
I understand.
In fact, Governor, you see, it is pointless for your team to go and attach documents that have no relevance at all to the question. So if effort is being spent in answering the wrong question, there's a problem in those departments, Governor. So that somebody comes up with 5 annexures of big volumes of documents that do not say anything to the query. So we're asking ourselves, was the question misunderstood, well, somebody is digging for the wrong documents for all this time and then says in 7 days they can get the correct documents. I'm a bit worried for you there.
I'm also worried. And people will answer now for themselves.
Correct.
Yeah. To answer. I know, of course, in as much as the chief officer, just like me, was not in the county at that time, you have staff who are there, who need to be able to give what is asked for by the Auditor General. Even if it's 2020, 2021, that should be. I hear what Senator Onyonka is saying.
Okay, I think let's proceed. That was Madam Opiata. Senator Sifuna is speculating that you have a degree in theology, but you don't look like you have a degree in theology. I don't think you'd pray for me. But just for the record, for it to go on record, because for Hansard purposes, they will need to capture the name and the officer who spoke. Just say your name and the function.
My name is Janet Opiata, Chief Officer Public Service. I have a degree, a Bachelor of Arts, social work. And then I am an HR practitioner.
Yeah, a member of the Institute of HR Managers?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's sufficient. Senator Cherokee.
A quick observation, you know, under the Public Audit Act Governor, and I agree with you that some officers might take their own responsibility. It is the responsibility to